When dealing with older homes that have two-wire systems lacking a dedicated ground wire, and there's a desire to install grounded outlets, several options exist. It's essential to approach this situation with safety as the top priority and a clear understanding of the electrical code. The first option to consider is running a ground wire. This is often considered the most comprehensive and safest solution. However, it's also typically the most invasive and potentially the most expensive. This involves running a separate ground wire from each outlet location back to the main electrical panel. It's crucial to ensure that this ground wire is properly connected to the grounding bus bar in the panel, which is connected to the grounding electrode system of the house, such as a ground rod or connection to the metal water service pipe. Because of the complexity and safety considerations, it is highly recommended to hire a qualified electrician to perform this task. The second option is to add ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, outlets. GFCIs are designed to protect against electrical shocks. They work by monitoring the current flowing to and from an appliance. If there is an imbalance, which indicates a leakage of current to ground, the GFCI will quickly interrupt the circuit, cutting off the power. GFCIs are particularly important in areas where water or moisture is present, such as kitchens, bathrooms, and outdoor locations. While a GFCI outlet does not provide a true ground path in the same way a ground wire does, it offers a significant level of protection by quickly cutting off power in the event of a ground fault. It's worth noting that when a GFCI outlet is installed in a two-wire system, it should be labeled as no equipment ground. This indicates that while the outlet provides GFCI protection, it does not have a direct connection to ground. The third option involves using grounding adapter plugs, sometimes referred to as cheater plugs. These adapters have a small metal tap that is intended to connect to the screw on the outlet's faceplate. The idea is that if the metal outlet box is grounded, this tap will provide a path to ground for the appliance plugged into the adapter. However, the effectiveness of this method depends on whether the metal outlet box is actually grounded. In many older homes, the metal boxes may not be grounded, making this solution unreliable. Furthermore, grounding adapters are not recommended for use with high current appliances or in areas where water is present due to the increased risk of electrical shock. The fourth option to explore is bonding to an existing ground system. In some houses, there may be existing grounded components, such as a gas line or metal water pipes. An electrician can bond the electrical system to these components to create a ground path. However, it's crucial to ensure that the gas line is properly bonded to avoid creating a hazardous situation. The water pipe is more commonly used as a grounding electrode, but the specific requirements and regulations for bonding to these systems can vary depending on local electrical codes. This method may only provide a ground path for outlets that are located near the bonded component. The fifth option is the use of receptacles with built-in isolated grounds. Some electrical outlets are designed with a built-in isolated ground conductor that connects to the electrical panel through the metal yoke, which is the mounting strap of the receptacle. These outlets provide a ground path without requiring a separate ground wire. However, these types of outlets may be more expensive than standard outlets. Additionally, it's important to ensure that the metal yoke is properly connected to a grounded metal box to establish a reliable ground path. A crucial point to emphasize is what not to do. It's extremely dangerous to connect the ground pin on an outlet to the neutral wire. This practice, sometimes referred to as a bootleg ground, can create a hazardous situation. It can allow current to flow through the ground wire under normal operating conditions, which can lead to electrical shock if someone comes into contact with a grounded appliance or metal enclosure. It can also cause the metal enclosures of appliances to become energized, posing a significant safety risk. In summary, the best option for grounding outlets in an older home with two-wire wiring depends on the specific circumstances of the house, the budget, and the level of effort involved. If possible, running a ground wire back to the electrical panel is generally the recommended solution for achieving complete grounding. However, if running a ground wire is not practical or cost-effective, GFCI outlets or bonding to existing ground systems can provide a safer alternative. It is extremely crucial to prioritize safety and consult with a qualified electrician to determine the most appropriate and code-compliant solution for each specific situation. Always ensure that any electrical work is performed in accordance with local electrical codes and regulations. When considering these options, it's also important to understand the difference between equipment grounding and personnel protection. Equipment grounding is intended to provide a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, allowing the overcurrent protective device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, to trip and de-energize the circuit. This helps to prevent damage to equipment and reduce the risk of fire. Personnel protection, on the other hand, is intended to protect individuals from electrical shock. GFCIs are a primary means of providing personnel protection by quickly interrupting the circuit in the event of a ground fault. While a properly installed grounding system can also contribute to personnel protection, GFCIs are specifically designed to address the risk of electrical shock. In addition to the options discussed, it's also worth considering the age and condition of the existing wiring in the house. If the wiring is old or deteriorated, it may be necessary to replace it entirely, which would provide an opportunity to install a 3-wire system with a dedicated ground wire. This would be the most comprehensive solution, but it would also be the most expensive and time-consuming. Before making any decisions, it's essential to conduct a thorough inspection of the electrical system and consult with a qualified electrician to assess the condition of the wiring and determine the best course of action. When installing GFCI outlets, it's important to understand the different types of GFCIs available. There are GFCI receptacles, which are installed in place of standard outlets, and GFCI circuit breakers, which are installed in the electrical panel. GFCI receptacles are typically used to protect individual outlets or a small number of outlets downstream. GFCI circuit breakers, on the other hand, protect the entire circuit. Both types of GFCIs provide the same level of protection, but the choice between them depends on the specific application and the layout of the electrical system. When bonding to existing ground systems, it's crucial to use the correct bonding methods and materials. The bonding conductor should be sized according to the electrical code and should be securely connected to the grounded component using approved bonding clamps or connectors. It's also important to ensure that the grounded component is properly grounded itself. For example, if bonding to a metal water pipe, the water pipe should be connected to the grounding electrode system of the house. Failure to properly bond to existing ground systems can create a hazardous situation and may not provide an effective ground path. When using receptacles with built-in isolated grounds, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation. The metal yoke of the receptacle should be securely connected to a grounded metal box to ensure a reliable ground path. It's also important to use the correct wiring methods and materials when connecting the receptacle to the circuit wiring. The isolated ground conductor should be connected to the grounding bus bar in the electrical panel. Regardless of the option chosen, it's essential to test the grounding system after installation to ensure that it is working properly. This can be done using a ground fault tester, which is a device that simulates a ground fault and verifies that the GFCI trips or that the grounding system provides a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source. It's also important to periodically test GFCI outlets to ensure that they are still functioning properly. This can be done by pressing the test button on the GFCI outlet. The outlet should trip and cut off power to the circuit. If the GFCI does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced. Finally, it's important to remember that electrical work can be dangerous. If uncomfortable performing electrical work, always hire a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be hazardous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to protect from electrical shock. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. And never work on electrical equipment when wet or standing in water. By following these safety precautions, you can minimize the risk of electrical shock and ensure that any electrical work is performed safely and effectively. In addition to the above considerations, it's also important to be aware of any specific requirements or regulations related to grounding in the local electrical code. The electrical code is a set of standards and regulations that govern the installation and maintenance of electrical systems. The code is designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. The electrical code is updated periodically to reflect changes in technology and best practices. It's important to stay up to date on the latest version of the electrical code and to comply with all applicable requirements. The local electrical inspector is responsible for enforcing the electrical code. Before starting any electrical work, it's always a good idea to contact the local electrical inspector to discuss the project and obtain any necessary permits. The electrical inspector can provide guidance on the requirements of the electrical code and can help to ensure that the work is performed safely and in compliance with the code. In conclusion, grounding outlets in an older home with two-wire wiring can be a complex and challenging task. However, by understanding the available options, following proper safety precautions, and complying with the electrical code, it's possible to provide a safe and effective grounding system. Remember to prioritize safety and consult with a qualified electrician if ever uncomfortable or unsure about any aspect of the electrical work.